Christmas Eve in Salem is supposed to be a time of warmth, forgiveness, and family unity. Instead, it becomes the backdrop for a devastating tragedy that no one sees coming, one that will haunt multiple families long after the holiday lights come down. What begins as a reckless attempt at freedom for two vulnerable girls spirals into a nightmare that forever changes their lives. Sophia Choi and Rachel Black are both emotionally fragile going into Christmas Eve, though for very different reasons. Rachel feels trapped, abandoned, and punished by the adults in her life. Being placed in Bayview and cut off from key family members has left her angry and desperate to feel in control of something, anything. Sophia, on the other hand, hides her own pain behind confidence and manipulation. She thrives on pushing boundaries and feeding off emotional chaos, even if she doesn't fully understand why. Their friendship, which initially seemed like a positive development, turns dangerous when Sophia convinces Rachel that sneaking out is harmless. Sophia paints the night as an adventure, a break from rules, doctors, and disappointment. She promises ice cream, fun, and the thrill of doing something forbidden. To Rachel, this doesn't feel like rebellion. It feels like relief. It feels like finally being seen and understood. Christmas Eve is the perfect opportunity. Supervision is lighter, routines are disrupted, and everyone assumes the girls are safe inside Bayview. That false sense of security becomes the first fatal mistake. Once outside, the reality is nothing like Sophia described. The cold, the darkness, and the unfamiliar streets quickly replace excitement with anxiety. Rachel begins to panic, realizing she has gone farther than she intended. But Sophia, driven by impulse and a desire to stay in control, pushes forward. She refuses to turn back, insisting everything is fine even as danger looms closer. The accident happens suddenly and violently. Details remain unclear at first, but it's evident that the girls are involved in a serious incident, possibly a traffic accident, fall, or collision caused by poor visibility and reckless decisions. What's certain is that Christmas Eve joy instantly turns into terror. Sirens cut through the night, and the festive calm of Salem is shattered by panic and confusion. Rachel is found injured and terrified, her earlier anger replaced by shock and regret. The weight of her decision hits her all at once, and for the first time, she understands how vulnerable she truly is. Sophia's condition is more severe, leaving doctors scrambling and loved ones fearing the worst. Her bravado disappears completely as the consequences of her manipulation come crashing down. The fallout is immediate and devastating. Brady Black is blindsided by guilt and fear when he learns Rachel is hurt. He trusted the system. He believed Bayview was safe. The realization that his daughter slipped through the cracks on Christmas Eve destroys him. Every choice he made regarding Rachel suddenly feels like a failure. The trauma threatens to reopen old wounds Brady never fully healed. Kristen D'Imera's absence looms heavily over the tragedy. Even though she isn't present, her shadow is everywhere. Rachel's pain becomes a painful reminder that separating a child from her mother, no matter how complicated that relationship may be, can have devastating emotional consequences. When news reaches Kristen, her reaction is expected to be explosive, fueled by rage, grief, and the belief that everyone failed her daughter. Molina Evans is equally shaken. Being barred from seeing Rachel already weighed heavily on her conscience, but this accident intensifies her guilt. She questions whether her presence could have prevented the tragedy, whether one conversation or moment of comfort might have changed everything. For Molina, this becomes deeply personal, not just professional. Sophia's role in the accident doesn't go unnoticed. As details emerge, suspicion turns toward her influence over Rachel. While some may see Sophia as another troubled child, others begin to question her intentions. Did she simply make a reckless mistake, or did she knowingly manipulate Rachel into danger? The answer may not be simple, but the consequences are unavoidable. What makes this storyline especially heartbreaking is that it didn't stem from malice. It stemmed from loneliness, emotional neglect, and desperation. Two young girls made choices based on pain rather than logic, and Salem is left to deal with the fallout. Christmas Eve, a night meant for miracles, becomes a symbol of how quickly things can go wrong when warning signs are ignored. The tragedy forces everyone involved to confront uncomfortable truths about responsibility, trust, and the cost of emotional isolation. In the days that follow, nothing will be the same. Rachel's trauma may leave lasting scars, both physical and emotional. Sophia's future hangs in the balance, and her relationship with the truth may finally be exposed. Families will fracture, blame will be assigned, and guilt will consume those who believed they were protecting these children. This is not just an accident, it's a wake-up call for Salem. And as the town mourns what was lost on Christmas Eve, one haunting question lingers. Could this tragedy have been prevented, or was it always inevitable?